These people are amongst the greatest quiz players in Britain. Together, they make up the Eggheads, arguably the most formidable quiz team in the country. The question is, can they be beaten? Welcome to Eggheads, the show where a team of 5 quiz challengers pit their wits against possibly the greatest quiz team in Britain. They are the Eggheads. Feeling brainy?
Mm-hmm.
I hope so.
Usually.
And challenging our resident quiz champions today are the Sussex Harriers. Now, this family team from Midhurst share a passion for running. Let's meet them.
Hi, I'm Ruth, and I'm a management consultant.
Hi, I'm James, and I'm a public health doctor.
Hello, I'm Simon, and I'm a business development manager.
Hi, I'm Celia. I'm a senior practice nurse.
Hi, I'm Ed, and I'm an engineer.
So, Ruth and team, hello.
Hi, Jeremy.
Hello.
Good to see you. And Ruth, mainly you're runners, is that right?
That's right. Normally we enter events which tests our physical endurance, but today we've gone for an event which is testing us mentally.
Good stuff. Tell us about the running, first of all. What sort do you do?
So we normally go for shorter distances, so 10 kilometres, but Ed actually has entered into an ultra, which is coming up this year.
And what's an ultra?
It's longer than a marathon, so it's actually, his one is two marathons in length.
What? You're going 56 miles?
56.2, I think.
Is it? What, in one go, without stopping?
Without stopping, hopefully. Maybe a few breaks.
Is that humanly possible?
Well, lots of people do it, so yeah.
Well, tell us about the quizzing, Ruth. What's going on there?
We've each quizzed in like pub quizzes and things like that, but we've never actually tested all together at the same time. But we cover quite a lot of topics, so we think we'll actually do all right. So.
OK, good. Well, it's excellent to see you all. Good luck, challengers. Every day there is £1,000 worth of cash up for grabs for our challenging team. If they fail to defeat the Eggheads, the prize money rolls over to the next show, as you know. And Sussex Harriers, the Eggheads need to be stopped because they've won the last 7. So they're getting that slightly smug look about them. And that means there's £8,000 for you to win today. Would you like to try?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
The first head-to-head battle is on the subject of history. You can choose Judith, Chris, Pat, Barry or Steve.
Well, Dad, you were
I
going
think
to
Mrs.
step forward
I
for
think-
this one, weren't you?
I think by a process of elimination, yes, nobody else is stepping forward. I am that volunteer.
OK,
Yeah.
Simon, against which Egghead?
Steve knows everything. Let's take him out early.
OK, let's go for Steve then.
OK. Good thought, actually. He does know a lot. Simon from the Sussex Harriers taking on Steve from the Eggheads. And just to ensure there's no conferring, would you please take your positions in our famous question room? Well, Simon, I know the stakes are high here because this is a family team, isn't it?
And I'm kicking off, opening the batting here.
All right, you're on history, Simon, against Steve. And would you like to go first or second?
I think I'll bat first on this one.
Here we go, good luck. David Lloyd George became UK Prime Minister in what year? Was this 1716, 1816 or 1916?
I'm pleased with this question because I know the answer to this one. I knew it before you gave me the options. So, yes, Lloyd George took over, I think it was from Asquith in 1916.
1916 is correct. Steve, your question. The US civil rights leader born Malcolm Little adopted what letter in place of his surname? X, Y or Z?
That's X, Jeremy.
X is correct, Malcolm X. Back to you, Simon. The Roman road, the Fosse Way, ran from Exeter in the south to which city at its northern end? Lincoln, York or Newcastle?
I think it's the A38, isn't it? I'm tempted to go Lincoln. I don't think it went as far as Newcastle. I'm going to stick with my first gut reaction, and that's go with Lincoln.
Lincoln is your answer. Let's see, Eggheads, is he right?
Yep.
Lincoln is the correct answer. Well done to you. Put Steve under a bit of pressure here. The Mamelukes, the rulers of Egypt and Syria from 1250 to 1517, derive their name from the Arabic for what? Slave, farmer, or architect? The Mamelukes.
Yeah, I don't actually know from the word, but I've got a feeling that they were slaves of the Egyptians who then overthrew them to become the rulers. So purely on the basis of that, I will say slave.
Very good quizzing. You're right. Slave it is. OK. Simon, back to you. Third question. In which country did Johann Friedrich Struensee, the royal physician, become the Queen's lover and take effective control of the kingdom? Austria, the Netherlands, or Denmark?
Ooh, this is a baffler, Jeremy. I feel as though Netherlands and Denmark, they didn't have territories of note. I'm going to go with the Austro-Hungarian type feel to it. So I'm going to go with Austria.
It's Denmark, Simon,
Oh dear.
which gives Steve clear sight of a seat in the final round. Which of these African nations received its independence from the UK first? Choose between Uganda, Kenya, and Egypt.
I know Uganda and Kenya were in the 60s, but when was Egypt? Don't know. Try Kenya.
Uganda and Kenya were in the 60s, Steve. Egypt was 1922.
Right.
So it was even before the Second World War.
Yeah.
So that's a let-off for you, Simon. Equal after 3 questions.
I'm back in it.
Back in it. Sudden death now, though. Gets a bit harder. I don't give you multiple choice options. Which Scottish Protestant reformer, born at Gifford Gate in Haddington around 1514 and author of The History of the Reformation in Scotland, described Mary Tudor as the English Jezebel?
I don't know many Scottish reformers. There's nothing coming to mind. I will say, being pushed, it can't be him, but William Wallace.
Okay. Steve, do you know?
John Knox.
John Knox is the right answer.
Ah, yes, that makes sense.
Okay, Steve, for the round. French Protestants were deprived of all religious and civil liberties by Louis XIV's revocation of which document on October the 18th, 1685?
Right. I know what I want to say. The Edict of Nantes.
The Edict of Nantes is quite right, Steve. Well done, you've taken the round. Sorry, Simon, knocked out on sudden death. They are good, these eggheads, aren't they?
They're very good, yeah. I wouldn't have got that one either. So I think I've lost a better man here.
Well, that's very sporting of you. Return to us, return to your family, and we'll see what happens next. So as it stands, the Sussex Harriers have lost 1 brain from the final round. Good round, though. The Eggheads have not lost any. And the next subject for you is arts and books. So Ruth and team, who wants this? Arts and books.
That was the one we were trying to avoid.
Really? I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Is it me?
It's yours, Celia.
I think
Mother, I think that's used.
Choose an egghead, Celia. Who do you want to take on?
maybe let's
Well,
try
if you-
Judith. Let's try Judith.
Judith.
OK. Celia from the Sussex Harriers versus Judith from the Eggheads on Arts and Books. And please go to the question room. Arts and Books, Celia. Do you want to go first or second?
I think I'll go first, Jeremy, please.
All right, good luck. Here we go. The author Agatha Christie was born in which century? Was it the 18th, 19th, or 20th?
I think she was born in the 19th century.
Let's just see. Eggheads, help us. Start with when she died,
I
Eggheads.
think it was 1976.
So 76, OK. And she was in her 80s when she died.
Yes.
So that takes us back, well done, Celia, to the 19th century. You're absolutely right. 1890, in fact. Judith, which of these artists is best known for working with paint? Jackson Pollock, Damien Hirst, or Barbara Hepworth?
Well, Barbara Hepworth is a sculptress. Damien Hirst spent his life chopping up calves and pickling sharks. So Jackson Pollock was well known for rolling about in paint.
Jackson Pollock is quite right. Well done. Back to you, Celia. Which female author set her 2012 novel N.W. in northwest London? Is it Zadie Smith, Anne Enright, or Margaret Atwood?
I don't think it was Margaret Atwood, and I don't know Anne Enright, which is probably dreadful. I think I'll go Zadie Smith.
Well done. Zadie Smith is right. Good play.
Gosh.
OK, Judith, your question. Who is the narrator of the 1955 Nabokov novel Lolita? Is it Morgan Morgan, Humbert Humbert, or Neville Neville?
Oh, that is Humbert Humbert.
It is Humbert Humbert.
Yeah.
OK, Celia. Which abstract dance choreographer had a long-standing professional and romantic partnership with the avant-garde musician John Cage? Jerome Robbins, George Balanchine, or Merce Cunningham?
Gosh, I think this is a real guess. I'm I think I'll go George Balanchine. I don't know why, but I'm going that way.
Let's just see. Eggheads, help
Merce
us.
Cunningham.
Merce Cunningham is the answer, Celia. This gives Judith a chance to take the round on arts and books. Your third question, Judith. What metaphor for the divide between the USA and Mexico forms the title of a 1995 novel by T.C. Boyle? The Tequila River, the Tortilla Curtain, or the Burrito Border?
The one I like the best, and I really don't know, because it could be any of them, I think. I just like the idea of the tortilla curtain, so I'm going to say tortilla curtain.
I guess it echoes the Iron Curtain, and that, which is a Churchill phrase, doesn't it? Maybe that's the thing that's going on here.
Yeah.
The Tortilla Curtain is quite right.
It is.
Judith,
Gosh, that's
3
a good
out of
guess.
3. Sorry, Celia, beaten by our Egghead, and as a result, not in the final round. So Celia and Judith, please return to your teams. Okay, this is tricky now for the Sussex Harriers. They've lost 2 brains from the final round. The Eggheads are still all sitting there. Running shoes on now.
Yeah.
All right, this is the key moment, and music is your subject. So who would like this?
Ooh.
Well, there's not many of us. I would make up that.
Ruth, James, or Ed?
You and Ed have strengths in other rounds, don't you, as well? So
So you're going to
So-
sacrifice yourself.
yeah, I think it's.
Well, I did. Let's not talk like that. That's
Our captain is there.
well, she can
that's
still
all.
control strategy even if she's out, but she may well not be. Find an Egghead. You can have Barry, Pat, or Chris.
I was thinking maybe Barry.
Barry looks as though he could have been a Bay City roller in his time.
That's true enough.
That is true.
Go for Barry.
Okay.
Because I'm sure there won't be any Bay City roller questions.
Okay, I'll go for Barry then.
So Ruth from the Sussex Harriers versus Barry, who struggles with hip hop. It's true. From the Eggheads. To ensure there's no conferring, please take your positions. So Ruth, you took music,
Yes, I did.
and is that because it's your passion?
I follow a little bit of music, but I wouldn't say I'm an expert on the subject.
Good stuff. Well, good luck on music against our Barry. And would you like to go first or second?
I'd like to go first, please.
And here is your first question, Ruth. Good luck. Which of these girl groups was not formed on a television talent show? Girls Aloud, Little Mix, or Sugar Babes?
Oh, well, Girls Aloud definitely was formed on the talent show. I'm pretty sure it was the Sugar Babes, which wasn't formed on a TV show, just because I like Little Mix is a little bit too modern, if that makes sense. And I don't think the Sugar Babes were, so I'm going to go with Sugar Babes. I hope I've got that right.
You're absolutely right. Sugar Babes is the right answer. Here's your question, Barry. Which artist won the Mercury Music Prize in 2013 with his album Overgrown? James Blake, James Blunt, or James Bay?
2013. I'm trying to remember when James Blunt came to the fore. Was it more than 3 years? Was it 3 years? No, I'm going to go for James Blunt.
Okay, Steve's got his head in his hands. James Blunt, when you say came to the fore, it was more than 10 years ago.
Was it? Oh,
Yeah.
goodness me, how time flies.
James Blake is the answer. So you've messed up very slightly there, Barry. Ruth, this is good now. At last, we've got a little bit of daylight. We can see our way through to the final. Hang on in there. Which song was the subject of a legal case in 2015 which ruled that royalties no longer needed to be paid for its use? Here Comes the Bride, Happy Birthday to You, or The Funeral March?
So, as far as I'm aware, Happy Birthday to You is not a royalties song. Oh, it's whether we go for the funeral or the wedding, isn't it? I'm trying to think of like things which I've actually seen in movies now, and how often you actually hear Here Comes the Bride in movies with weddings in, and you don't hear it very often. So for that reason, I think I'll go for Here Comes the Bride.
Here Comes the Bride. I know why you've done that, but it's wrong. It is actually the one you ruled out. It's Happy Birthday to You. Barry, your question. In musical notation, what term is used to indicate that a piece should be played fairly loud? Is it mezzo forte, mancando, or mesto?
Well, I always thought forte was loud, so mezzo forte must mean fairly loud.
Mezzo forte is fairly loud. Back to you, Ruth. Your third question, your equal. When they were formed, which of these bands had the most members? The White Stripes, the Black Keys, or Simply Red?
Because I felt like the White Stripes had 3 or 4, which doesn't sound like that many. Black Keys I haven't heard of, and Simply Red, I think that's quite a low number, but I could be completely wrong with that. I'm going to go with the one I actually know, so I'm just going to go with the White Stripes.
Okay, the White Stripes are an unusual band because they only have 2 people in it.
Oh.
So it's the guitarist is Jack White. The Black Keys also had 2. So it's Simply Red with 6.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Barry, you have a chance here to take the round with this question. Although his birthplace was in Germany, the composer Johannes Brahms spent much of his life and died in which city? Vienna, Paris, or Brussels?
Now, this is a question to which I should know the answer immediately, and yet I don't. So this is interesting. I won't mind, but he's one of my favourite composers as well, so I'm amazed that I don't know this. But I have something at the back of my head that says Brahms lived his last years in France, so I'm going to go for Paris.
I thought you would do this one in your sleep, and you've got it wrong.
Oh.
It is Vienna.
Oh.
So that's so unusual, because that's...
What is happening today?
No, that's the sort of question you love as well. So 1 out of 3 for you both. We go to sudden death. Ruth, here we go. I don't give you options here.
Okay.
Benny and Bjorn were the male members of which chart-topping band?
Oh, I think that's Hanson.
Hanson?
Yeah.
No, it's ABBA.
Oh, whoops.
Barry for the round. Which number followed the words heaven and east in the names of hit bands of the 1980s and 90s?
Goodness me, one I actually do know. It must be 17.
Heaven 17 and East 17. Well done, you're right, Barry. It is 17. Sorry, Ruth.
I apologise for this. I don't feel I deserve to win this round.
So come back to us. We've got 1 more round to play. OK, the Sussex Harriers have lost 3 brains now from the final round. The Eggheads have not lost any so far. This is the moment now to get an Egghead out, and it's sport. So who would like sport? You're very sporty, all of you.
Yep, I'm very happy to go for it.
Ed on sport? OK.
I'll take sport.
Against which Egghead? And you've got either Pat or Chris.
I'll take on Chris, please.
Good stuff. Chris likes sport.
Chris likes sport, one of the great fallacies of the 21st century.
I wanted to see how you'd react to that. Ed from the Sussex Harriers versus Chris from the Eggheads, who may or may not like sport. To ensure there's no conferring, please, for the last time, take your positions. On sport, Ed, would you like to go first or second?
First, please, Jeremy.
All right, good luck. Which of these football stadiums is furthest south? Is it Old Trafford, White Hart Lane, or Anfield?
I should get this one. Old Trafford is Manchester, and Anfield's Liverpool, whilst White Hart Lane's in London, so I'll go White Hart Lane, please.
White Hart Lane, the home of Spurs, is in London. Well done. OK. Chris, in 1996, the rower Steve Redgrave memorably said that anyone who saw him go anywhere near a boat again had his permission to do what? Capsize it, call his mum, or shoot him?
Yes, he'd had a belly full of the whole business, hadn't he? So anybody who sees me go near a boat again has a permission to shoot him.
Shoot him is correct. Back to you, Ed. At the Sochi Winter Olympics, Jenny Jones became the first Briton to win an Olympic medal in which event? Snowboarding, alpine skiing, or speed skating?
I think she was a trick boarder, so I think snowboarding.
Yeah, well done. Snowboarding is right. Chris, in American football, the winners of the Super Bowl are awarded what type of jewelry? Rings, necklaces, or bracelets?
Do you know, I haven't a clue. Since they're the most unisex of the 3, and Americans do tend to go in for wearing that sort of thing, I'll say a ring. Rings.
Rings is right, actually. Yeah. I thought you might go bracelets there. OK, 2 each. Ed, back to you. This can be important, this third question. In December 2016, A.B. de Villiers stepped down as Test captain for the South African cricket team to be replaced by which player? Was it Faf du Plessis, Jacques Kallis, or Vernon Philander?
My dad would know this one, so that's Warren. I don't think it's Vernon Philander. It was whether Jack Callis had retired then. What year was it, sorry?
In December 2016.
December 26. I think Jack Callis had retired then, so I'll go Duplessis.
Let's see whether Simon does know. Is he right?
That's Faf du Plessis, yes, definitely.
Faf du Plessis is quite right. Your father has confirmed it. So you got 3 out of 3 on sport. That's really good. Now, can you stay in, Chris? Prior to his retirement in 2012, how many times did Stephen Hendry win the World Snooker Championship? 5, 6, or 7?
Quite a lot. But not that many. 5.
Quite a lot, but not that many is 5, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Eggheads?
7.
7 is the answer, Chris. You've been knocked out. Well done. Maybe the tide is turning for our challengers. Ed, you've taken on an egghead and emerged triumphant. You will be in the final round. And gentlemen, if you both come back, we will play it. So this is what we have been playing towards. It is time for our final round. As always, general knowledge. But I'm afraid those of you who lost your head-to-heads won't be allowed to take part in this round. So Ruth, Simon and Celia from the Sussex Harriers and also Chris from the Eggheads, would you please now leave the studio? James and Ed, you're playing to win the Sussex Harriers £8,000. Steve, Barry, Pat and Judith, you're playing for something that money can't really buy, which is the Eggheads' reputation. As usual, I will ask each team 3 questions in turn. This time, the questions are all general knowledge. You can confer. So, Sussex Harriers, the question is, can your 2 brains defeat these 4 super-sized ones? And would you like to go first or second?
We'll go first, please, Jeremy.
All right, good luck. You can do this, guys. Do it for the Harriers. First question. On which day of the week does the Queen traditionally distribute money to pensioners? Is it Ash Wednesday, Maundy Thursday, or Good Friday?
I don't know too much about this one, but what's the meaning of each one, each day?
So I've got this memory of, like, when we were younger, you'd go out on the street and people would be spreading pennies in the street. But I can't remember whether it was...
So you
can't
go...
remember what day it was associated with.
Good Friday is the bank holiday, so would it be that one?
Well, it wouldn't be... I mean, that's Jesus' death, isn't it? So probably unlikely to give out pennies on that day, because it's like mourning day.
Yeah, and you wouldn't be in the streets, that's what I'm saying.
And you wouldn't be in the streets.
Wednesday.
I think we should go down the middle.
Down the middle it is.
Yeah, we'll go with Maundy Thursday.
Right. Let's just check with your parents. Are you relieved back there?
Yes, we are.
Maundy Thursday it is. Oh, my goodness. So that was close to disaster there. Well done. I don't know what the logic was there, but it worked for you. Eggheads, in the Superman comics, what is the occupation of Superman's love interest, Lois Lane? Was she a reporter, nurse, or lawyer?
Reporter?
I think she's a reporter, isn't she?
Definitely.
I think so.
Work for the Daily Planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We think she's a reporter.
Reporter is correct. 1 each. Back to you, challengers. In which year did Samuel Cody make the first controlled powered flight in Britain? Was it 1908, 1918, or 1928?
Controlled powered flight. So, did they have them in the World War?
Well, that's what I was thinking. So for them to be in the First World War, it would have to be 1908.
Yeah, that's what I would agree.
And they had planes in the First World War, didn't they?
I think so. I guess so.
1908?
Yep.
Yeah, we'll go with 1908.
1908 is the right answer. Well done. The next question is for the Eggheads. Which of these computer games was released first? Sonic the Hedgehog, Grand Theft Auto, or Donkey Kong?
Donkey Kong.
No.
Donkey Kong is the late 70s, I think.
Well, it's early 80s.
Early 80s, because I can remember
Yeah.
at university I saw it on
Yeah.
little
Sonic's much later than Grand Theft Auto's most recent.
Did Donkey Kong turn
Donkey
into Super
Kong.
Mario?
Yeah,
at some
eventually.
point?
That were a character in it, yeah.
Yeah.
Jumpman, and he became.
So it's definitely Donkey Kong.
Yeah, gorilla.
I've got
throws-
Donkey Kong for Atari, so
throws
I know
barrels
it's
at a target.
Yeah, yeah.
We think that's Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong is the right answer. I was wondering when you'd ever get a gaming question. I think one of those is going to trip you up one day. Okay, so it's 2 each. We're playing for £8,000 here. Here we go. In Scottish mythology, the creature known as the Selkie takes which form when in water? and this is Selkie. Is it serpent, salmon, or seal?
All I know is that the kelpie is a horse. I don't know about the selkie.
If it's mythology, then maybe you're going more of a serpent.
Serpent was my first thought. Because salmon and seals aren't really mythological creatures, are they?
Let's go with serpent then, shall we?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with serpent, please.
And where are you from originally, James?
I'm from Edinburgh, along the road.
Edinburgh, so you would know. Eggheads?
It's a seal.
Seal.
Seal is the answer. The Eggheads can end it with this question if they get it right. A boy named Hogarth is a central character in which work of children's literature? Stig of the Dump by Clive King, The Iron Man by Ted Hughes, or The Northern Lights by Philip Pullman?
It's not Northern
It's
Lights.
not
It wasn't
Northern
called
Lights.
Northern Lights at
Not
all.
Northern Lights.
And I've watched The Iron Man, and I don't remember a kid being called Hogarth, and I've not read Stig of the Dump. So I'd go Stig of the Dump,
I'd
but
be
I
inclined,
don't
I'd be
know.
inclined
I
to
don't
stick
know
at
for
the dump, but
definite.
I've nothing to base it on.
I think, yes, from what Steve says about it not being in the Iron Man.
I would say don't take what I'm
And it's
saying as
definitely
gospel
not
by any
in
means.
Northern Lights.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're pretty unsure here, Jeremy, but we are hoping it's Stig of the Dump.
I don't know what you were watching when you were looking at Ted Hughes, because Hogarth is in there. It's The Iron Man by
Sorry.
Ted Hughes.
Sorry, team.
Oh, no problem.
Oh dear.
So you're 2 each after 3 questions. £8,000 you're playing for, and we go to sudden death. Gets a bit harder, I don't give you alternative options. Here's your question. Tiger Drew Honey, Daniel Roach, and Ramona Marquez found fame playing the children in which TV comedy series?
Tiger Drew Honey.
Is it cool?
Sounds like American names, doesn't it?
Yeah, true.
It's like the Cosbys or something.
I was thinking of English comedies.
Don't sound like British names.
No. No, I haven't got anything. So,
What should we go for?
what was your answer?
All I can think of is the Cosbys, but I don't know.
Let's go with that now.
Okay, we'll go with the Cosbys.
The Cosbys is your answer. Eggheads, do you know?
Outnumbered.
Outnumbered. Closer to home.
Remember, I've got
Closer to home.
Okay, Eggheads, you could take the contest with this. Which man who went on to be president of France married Yvonne Vendroux in 1921?
Oh, Tansy Yvonne was Charles de Gaulle's
Oh,
wife.
to go. Yes. It's
County
Yvonne was
Yeah.
Yvonne to go. Dates fit.
yeah.
Yvonne. Yeah.
We think that's Charles de Gaulle.
All right, we've been playing for £8,000 here. If you've got it right, the contest is over. The correct answer is Charles de Gaulle. You're right, and we say congratulations, Eggheads, you have won. They just gave you a bit of daylight.
They did.
The first 3
We
questions.
had our chance.
Just needed a right answer there, but I'm really sorry. You played well. You got them to sudden death in the final. Commiserations to the Sussex Harriers. It's been lovely to see you all. Thank you for coming. And the Eggheads have done what comes naturally to them. This winning streak continues. It's really quite impressive now. It does mean that the challengers don't go home with the £8,000, so the money rolls over to our next show. Eggheads, congrats. Who will beat you? Join us next time to see if a new team of challengers have the brains, finally, to defeat them. We're heading towards a 5-figure jackpot. There's £9,000 to play for next time. Until then, goodbye.